Hello everybody and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. My name is Kyle and this is PC Tech and Gaming. And yeah, today we're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, the newest version of the simulator that came out on the 18th. So only about 4 days ago now. And today we are going to complete my, shall we say, mini-series on seeing Tasmania in my home state here in Australia, where I live. And the last two videos I've done various focal points of Tasmania, including a lot of our scenery and coastline, etc. So in this particular flight, I'm hoping to finish this mini-series, because Tasmania is not a terribly large island, and we've covered about 2/3 of it already on our previous two flights, so if you want to check them out, just check the description in this video, because I'll have links to those two flights. But yeah, in this third flight we are going to do the last part of the island and hopefully see some more cool stuff. So here we are. This is of course this is Australia, and this here is Tasmania, and this is where I am from. Hobart, of course, being my hometown, and that's where we'll be taking off in this particular episode. I did have a request in the last video whether I could visit Sandfly Airport, so that's actually not that far from Hobart Airport, so I'll be making a mini stop there as well. If you want to throw a request into the comments, please feel free to do so. I can't say that I'm going to follow up on every single one of them, but yeah, I'm quite happy to look at doing some requests in the future. So yeah, just chuck it in the comments and we'll see where we end up from there. So anyway, down to our today's flight plan. Today's flight plan will be departing Hobart Airport. So we'll put that as our departing airport. Let's do runway 30. We're going to depart from the other side out. The plane we're going to use is the same one I used on the last flight. So the turboprop Deha TBM 930. We're going to liveries, weight and balance, 50% fuel will be fine, no failures, and my call sign of A326. Don't ask me why I like to use that one, it's just because I do. So that's the plane. As for weather, we're going for live traffic, live weather, and of course off for multiplayer. Of course, if it does get too dark or it's too cloudy, I'm just going to change the weather in-game on the fly to be completely fine and perfect. But I think it's always cool to see if the weather, the local weather is A, replicated as I see out my window, and B, sometimes, we do get pretty good weather down here in Tasmania. Although some people on our mainland would beg to differ. Anyway, so we're going to leave Hobart Airport. We are going to come, I think this is Sandfly Airport here. No, that's Hobart. This is Sandfly Airport. So we're going to leave Hobart Airport, come down this way, have a look at Sandfly Airport, maybe land there, maybe not, maybe we'll just do a flyby. And then we're going to come up here, up the center of Tasmania, and we're going to visit Cradle Mountain, which is a famous mountain here in Tasmania. Thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people flock here every year to see it. Well, they did, at least pre the pandemic. And it should be around about here-ish, somewhere there. And then I want to fly up kind of to the northwest of Tasmania. And we want to visit Stanley and the Nut, which should be here. This little peninsula popping out here. This is where the town of Stanley is, and the Nut, which is a big volcanic plug in Tasmania, which from many, many hundreds of thousands of years ago. And then after we do that, I want to swing back around and land us at Devonport Airport. So we're going to set that at we're going to set it at our arrival airport. Runway 6 arrival. So there we go, that's our flight plan. Leave Hobart, Sandfly Airport, up through the centre of Tasmania, Cradle Mountain, northwest Tasmania, Stanley and the Nut, pretty coastline, all the way back down to Devonport Airport. We shall also will fly past Table Cape here, which will be pretty cool. That's where the Tulip Festival is every year. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we have our plane, we have our weather, we have our flight plan. Let's fly. So should load in pretty quick because I've been doing a bit of making sure everything works. So should already have a lot of this data committed to memory, which makes for quick loading times. And just for you guys that don't know, I'm running this game in ultra settings using an RTX 2080 Ti backed up by a Ryzen 9 3900X CPU and 16 gig of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM. And I've got this installed on a Western Digital black 4TB hard drive. So what you guys are seeing is the best possible quality that you can see out of this game, which is exactly how I want to bring it to you. So, okay, so let's fly. So we're going to take our parking brake off, and we're going to put our accelerator on. We're not going to muck around, we are going to take off straight away and start our flight. Our third scenic flight in my home state of Tasmania. We're getting a bit of a speed up now. Once we get up to about 100, 110. And off we go. Pulling up the landing gear. Gonna retract flaps. Oh, I think I accidentally put the landing gear back down again. Hit the wrong button on my joystick. There we go. We've retracted the landing gear again. And off we go. So, once again, I'm largely flying this aeroplane without any autopilot. Just acknowledge the frequency change so they can get off my back.
Over Tower Dare Alpha Tree 26 frequency change.
Perfect. So this is the inside of our plane. Looks pretty spiffy with all its LCD panels and whatnot. Looking at the side windows, looks pretty awesome. So we're flying out kind of towards Hobart. As you can see, we have Mount Wellington off in the distance, kind of around about here. The city of Hobart over here, or more specifically here. Tasman Bridge here. Eastern Shore here. I'm just going to do a bit of a scenic flyby over the Eastern Shore. Before I head over to Sandfly Airport. For any of you Hobartians watching, of course the main attraction we're looking out for here is going to be Bell Reef Stadium, or Bluntstone Arena, whatever it's called at the time, by whoever sponsor is sponsoring it. So we're doing a nice flyby here. Got Got Howrah Beach, which we're passing over now. And then Bell Reeve Beach here. And there it is, Bluntstone Arena. Kangaroo Bay, Bluntstone Arena. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Scenic flight. There's Eastlands, Rosny College. Oh. Might as well do a bit of a flyby over Hobart here once more. For those of you watching who might be interested in seeing it. Here we are, flying over the city of Hobart. Might want to put some more power on the engine. There we go, Eastern Shore and City flyby done. Now we're going to head off to take a look at Sandfly Airport. Sandfly is a nice little kind of outer area down the Huon, or the Huon Valley area of Tasmania. And take a look at our VFR map here and make sure we're going the right way. I think that's Sandfly Airport there. So I'm going to make sure we aim for that. There's Mount Wellington off to the right, the city of Hobart behind us. Oh man, the graphics on this game are so good. Alright, Sandfly Airport is coming up. We're 5 nautical miles away. Might give the engine some berries. Get there a little bit quicker. As we've got some big ground to cover here, we're going to be flying over basically 1/3, if not half of the island in this flight. Now, I can't really see the landing strip of Sandfly Airport just yet. Might come out a little bit and then go back in. And down here you can see the suburbs of Kingston and Blackmans Bay and the Dontracosto Channel in here, and Burnie Island over there. I'm going to slow us down just a tad. I'm going to come back around. And have a look at this airport. There we go. I've got to try really hard here not to crush it. Here we go. We're going to do a bit of a flyby over Sandfly Airport right here. And there we go. That's Sandfly Airport. Bit of a dirt strip by the look of it. Not a hell of a lot there. Not that I was expecting there to be, mind you. So off we continue on our flight path up to Cradle Mountain next. Coming over the back of the Wellington Range here. So we need a bit of altitude now because we've got to climb up behind over this mountain range. Aiming ourselves the right direction, so it's around about, yeah, around about here somewhere. It's Cradle Mountain. Doesn't really list it on the map, unfortunately. Be nice if it listed sightseeing locations. Coming over the back of the Wellington Range here. I think this little peak here is Collins Cap. Although I'm not 100% sure. And off we go. Well on our way. You can see the Derwent Valley coming up ahead, which is just in here. After this flight, I intend to do some more broader flights across Australia to visit some of the scenic locations around Australia. And then of course I'm going to be looking at the rest of the world and seeing what we can see in this gorgeous game. It's just amazing how lifelike this is. And here we are. Here's the Derwent Valley. And that's the Derwent River tracking up. Let's take a look at our VFR map. Yep, we're still going the right direction. About 7,800 feet. I kind of feel like I should maybe turn on the autopilot just to make this flight a little less intensive. Now, just so you guys know, I'm not a professional pilot and don't claim to be. So I know I'm not doing everything quite by the book. But hey, that's okay. It is a simulator after all. And if you want to fly it completely lifelike, you do have that option. But, yeah. Passing lots of farmland here.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Yep.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Going a bit too quick. It's looking to be a little bit cloudy up here. Might want to try and duck below the clouds a little bit, if we can. If they become too annoying, we just remove them altogether. I do love in this game how you can change the weather depending. But at the moment, I've got it on live weather, so live weather and live time of day, so it's pulling all that data off the net. Oh, off to our right here, I noticed something else. We can see down here this bit of water. This is still the Derwent River. And this down here is Lake Meadowbank. And I at one point in time went fishing actually off this lake, launched near the bridge there. Came all the way down and around here and back again. Oh, going too quick again. But yeah, so that's, for those of you that know it, that's Lake Meadowbank. Fairly distinctive to see. And off we go, still tracking up the valley. Check out VFR map. Yep, so we are getting there. We are getting there. So watch speed a little bit. Overspeeding again. So Cradle Mountain should be around here. But we're largely going to be eyeballing it, as I can't get the exact coordinates in this game We're gonna give it a go. A red hot go at any rate. We definitely will. See if I can find Dove Lake, which is the lake. Then I'll find the mountain, because the mountain's right in front of the lake. This here looks like it could be Dove Lake. Oh. Better make sure I don't crash into anything. That might be Dove Lake as well. I have a feeling it's this one. Yep. I really do think it's that one. So that's what we're going to be aiming for. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to some scenery. Oop. About to go into the clouds. Flying up through the center of Tassie. In live weather. At a fairly low altitude. Not using autopilot. Seeing what we can see. Now if I go in here and bring the fridge down a bit. Yep. It wants to send us up in the clouds. Oh. Okay, that was not good. Where's the trim? Gone. Oh dear. This is not good at all. Not good at all. Oh dear, we're completely off course. Let's turn the autopilot on before we crash the plane. Oh, having a bit of control issues with the plane here. I don't know why, it's this is very unnerving, I have to say. I don't really wanna crash our plane, and it's massively over trimmed at the moment. I'm having to pull the stick dead hard back so we don't crash, and I can't. There we go. Oh, I think I've saved us. Ah, perfect. We are alive. Okay, where are we on the map? Let's have a look. Let's get back on track. Okay, we're here. Where did we say we were going again? Oh, there. Okay. Not all is lost. We are still on track. And the clouds are now being pesky enough that I want to get rid of them. So let's go for clear skies. And voila. Perfect. Now we're definitely going to be able to spot our mountain peak of Cradle Mountain as we fly up through the centre of Tasmania. Now we've escaped our almost crashing emergency. We are flying up through some pristine land. I'm gonna also just Google Map some Cradle here, just to make sure I think I'm heading in the right direction. And I think I am. I think I am going the right way. Actually, no. Might be here. This could be This looks more like Dove Lake, actually. Now that I've actually got a photo of it on my screen. My phone screen, that is. Okay, we're aiming for this one. That's Dove Lake. And if we can find the lake, we can find the mountain. But by golly, look at that landscape. And look at that Tasmanian landscape. How beautiful is that? And this is the most hilly terrain in any state of Australia. Look, it's even got small renders of a bit of snow on these peaks, which would be pretty realistic to date, as we are getting quite a bit of snowfall. Now when we get up to Cradle Mountain, I kind of want to do a bit of a kind of a flyby around it, because to see the true shape of it you kind of need to come in from north, like as in we need to come down this way. So we might fly up here and like fly around it and then down and then back out and up to Stanley. I'm so glad we didn't crash. That was not looking too good for a moment there. It's annoying how I don't have any trimming options on my joystick. I should fix that. But in saying that, I've actually decided to upgrade my joystick controller. So I'm going to do an unboxing video of that very soon on the channel. I figured, you know what, this is a new sim, it's fantastic to play, and I feel a little bit dated, you know, playing it on a 10-year-old flight control stick. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I kind of feel that it would be nice to have something new and has a lot more buttons and it's potentially going to be much better quality of life. There's a peak I can see coming up like there. I wonder if that's Cradle Mountain. Oh, excessive airspeed. Yep. We may have excessive airspeed. Where are we? Well, we're heading for our old Dove Lake, the one we thought was Dove Lake, but this definitely is here, after consulting Google Maps. I wish I could name a lot of these other peaks for you guys, but Tasmania just has so many, mountains, and it's just crazy. If I was to name them all, we'd be here all day. No word of a lie. But it's just a gorgeous landscape, and I'm super impressed how this game has managed to render it in such a fantastic fashion. Like, it's incredible.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Oop.
Overspeed.
So we're flying over the Cradle Mountain Lake St. Clair National Park now. I can't see it on the simulator obviously, but down there somewhere is the overland track, which many people travel or go on each year. It's a 5-day hike across the Tasmanian wilderness. Haven't been game enough to do it myself yet, but it's there. Now, is that the lake coming up on our right? I kind of feel like it might be. But, I tell you what, that's definitely no Cradle Mountain in front of it. Or it should be right about there if it was Dove Lake. So... yeah, okay. So that's not it. That's not it at all. So that's disappointing. It's definitely not these peaks over here. Oh, we're gonna have to go back this way then. Maybe it was the original Dove Lake that I thought it was. We're gonna soon find out. These look like they could be options over here. Yes. I think we might be onto something. Our detective work of trying to locate Cradle Mountain in Tasmania on Flight Simulator 2020. Okay, we're about to fly over this other lake, and it's definitely not Cradle Mountain, I can tell you that. Definitely not. There's definitely no road there. Yeah, okay, so that's not it. So we're gonna go over here a bit more. And we're gonna go take a look at this peak here in particular and see if I can't see a Cradle Mountain in that. Because it looks like it could be, you know. Yeah. I think it is, looking at it a bit closer. Because that would make sense, because I think this other peak here over to the right is called Barn Bluff. And this is very much looking like a Dove Lake we're coming up on. Oh, I see. Of course. Yes, this is it. This is it. I'm without a doubt, this is it. This is the Cradle Mountain National Park. We're going to slow our speed right down so we can get a good look at it as we come over it. And yep, this, my friends, this is Cradle Mountain. This is called Crater Lake over here. And this is Dove Lake. This is how I know. And there's the cradle. So you've got Cradle Mountain here that goes like this. And that is definitely Barn Bluff over there to the right. And there's the road, and there's the visitor centre. And this is the track that goes around Dove Lake. This is Marion's Lookout over here to the right. You can climb up to that. We're flying over Dove Lake. And we're flying up through the middle here of Cradle Mountain. Put on some, give the plane some berries so it can get over the peak. And that over here is Barn Bluff. Let's do a bit of a fly around. How gorgeous. Ah, this game has replicated it perfectly. And here's Crater Lake. This is Marion's Lookout up here. Oh, that is awesome. For all of those watching who know what Cradle Mountain is and what it looks like, you would definitely notice what we are just looking at. And now we're going to go back for another flyby. Oh, hopefully not gonna crash. It's difficult trying to sightsee and actually control the plane at the same time.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
No, we don't want landing gear. Okay, so we're going to go back over it again once more.
Landing gear.
No, we don't want landing gear. So that there, my friends, is the car park. We're flying over Dove Lake now. This is Cradle Mountain over here. A big glacier used to sit in here. I'm trying to get the best view I can for you guys. I might just do one more pass. Kind of come out of the back of Cradle Mountain here and then come back around. Before we make our way up to Stanley. Just have to reset the camera. I feel like I'm doing my own private air tour of Cradle Mountain in Flight Simulator. This is the back of Cradle Mountain. This is going to be our last flyby before we head off to Stanley. This is Dove Lake. I've walked around this lake many times. More times than I can remember, actually. And of course, that's the car park down below.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
No, we don't want to land. I'm just making the plane go slow. And of course, the road snakes all the way out. You can see down here, this little car park here and that little track. That's the beginning of the overland track. And we're following the road out of Cradle Mountain, off towards the visitor centre. Here's the road, zigzagging its way out. Have I lost it? No, there it is. And here we go. We're flying over. There's the hotels, various hotels. Oh. We don't want to crash. That was too close. That was almost a crash. Okay, enough sightseeing. Let's make our way over to Stanley. So we're going to go to Stanley and they're going to land at Devonport. This flight has been not quite as to the book or to how I would like it to be. We nearly crashed the plane due to a way out of balance trim. And then we nearly crashed the plane because we were too busy sightseeing and not flying the plane. But it's okay. We're we saved the plane in both cases, and yeah, we're pretty good. If you detected a small cutting in the video a few moments ago near Cradle Mountain there, I just had my phone ring and I had to kind of pause the game and take the phone call, and then unpause the game and get straight back to you guys. So I kind of had to cut the video there and cut my phone call out of the video. But I can assure you this is still the same flight and we haven't crashed. Not if I can help it, that's for sure. We are definitely not going to crash. So we're going to be heading to Stanley now and visit the Nut, which is right about here. The town of Stanley is here, and this whole peninsula here. So that is our next destination. After we have went and seen the most awesomeness that is Cradle Mountain. Replicated so perfectly on this game, it's not funny. Like, it's staggering the detail, right down to I can notice the car park, the visitor center, even the hotels. It's on that last little bit before we kind of came out of the area back there. That was just absolutely awesome. I did say at the beginning of the video this is going to be the end of our Tassie or Tasmanian sightseeing series, and I'm going to go on to, you know, Australia and maybe other world locations after this. Might actually do some real flights too, you know, Hobart to Melbourne, Sydney to Hobart, Melbourne to Sydney, you know, start using the jumbo jetliners and doing that kind of thing. But I kind of also figure that there's definitely going to be more stuff to see in Tasmania. I've just got to figure out some interesting flight paths to go and have a look at some of this stuff. So this won't be the end of Tasmania. This will not be the end. I just need to figure out kind of more where to go after this particular one. But yeah. So look, we have Wynyard Airport down here to our bottom left, which we are of course not landing at. We're now very much in the northwestern part of Tasmania. Looking at some absolutely fantastic scenery. I love how the exhaust out of the engine is coming out of both sides there. Oh, there I am flying the plane. Absolutely stunning. I can't get over how incredible the graphics are on this game. It's absolutely amazing. Let's check the map. Make sure we're still going in the right direction, which we are. Because once we get to about here, I'm going to turn us up this way. And the best way to see Stanley and the nuts coming in from this angle. So we'll probably come in that angle, do a bit of a flyby around, come back through this way, and then head down to Devonport Airport. Along the coast here, do a bit of a coastal track. Just give her a bit of speed. And now, let's make our turn in to the right.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Not quite overspeeding yet. And I can see in the distance our target. This is the peninsula right here. So that's where we're aiming for. Let's see what our landscape is around us. Not looking too shabby. Not looking too shabby at all. This is the first time that I'm seeing the north coast of Tasmania this closely in the game. We're tracking pretty nicely over to the nut and on this peninsula up here and Stanley. The nut is a big volcanic rock and it's only about 100 meters high, so, or about 150 meters high, so it's not as big as some of the other mountains around here. Cradle Mountain that we just visited is the 6th highest peak in Tasmania. So slowly reducing our altitude a bit now. Now that we're out of the mountains of Tasmania, we don't have to hold such a high altitude. We still have 28% fuel remaining, so we've only used not even half of the fuel we took from Hobart, which is good. And we can see the peninsula coming up dead ahead of us. And this is the nut here on the right. It's the peninsula. The town of Stanley is about here. Oh, there we go. Starting to come into view. You can make out the nut very clearly there. Is sitting above sea level quite a bit. So here we are, approaching the peninsula. This is one of my favourite places in Tasmania to go for a week, for a night away. Although to drive here from Hobart, where I'm from, it takes about 4 or 5 hours, so it's quite a drive. You definitely don't want to drive up here if you plan to go back in the same day. Oh, and here we are. Our second scenic attraction in today's flight.
Landing gear.
Nope, we don't want to go landing gear yet. And here we go, here's the nut here, and here's the town of Stanley. How gorgeous is this? And once again, coming in as true to life as it possibly can. Here's Stanley and the nut. Trying to not crash. Coming back around this way. And here we are, Stanley and the nut from our other angle. And there we have it. That is Stanley and the nut. And now let's continue our journey down the coast towards Devonport Airport. As we look at Stanley go into the distance. How beautiful is that? Perfect. Now let's get on track here. Let's see which way the runway is. Nope, won't let us see. Let's sort out our IFR stuff.
Alpha Tree 26 is Type Day or TBM 914 miles east of Yankee Sierra Mike, India. Request flight following. Day or Alpha Tree 26 Melbourne Center. Squawk 0 Tree 24.
Getting our squawk code.
Day or Tree 26.
Now let's
Day or Tree 26 radar contact 15 miles east of Yankee Sierra Mike, India at 2,700 feet. Altimeter 29.92. Copy Day or Tree 26.
So we're about 15 miles off of our landing spot. We're going down Tasmania's north coast here. If we look behind us, we can see Stanley's disappearing. I think this is Table Cape down here where they have the Tulip Festival. Because that's definitely not. That's just not. This, however, is. Like most landmarks in this game, you can really tell them when you get more close. Let's hope we can do a better landing than our last flight. Ah yes, here we go. Here's Table Cape. And of course we have Wynyard over here, one of our northern Tasmanian towns. And that's Table Cape right down there. And we'll just fly over Wynyard. Because we can. Can't say I've spent a whole lot of time in this town in my time. Oh, and there's Wynyard Airport. There is Wynyard Airport. Well, there you go. On the way down the coast we go. And there's our North Coast Highway. I think this might be the town of Burnie. I'm not 100% actually. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure some of you watching would know. It should be Burnie, I think. Yeah, I think it is Burnie, now that I see more of it. Especially this little CBD centre down here. And I recognise the port as well. Yep, that's Burnie, my friends. flying along the north coast. Fuel's getting a bit low, 22%, but that's fine. We'll easily make it. Easily.
Contact Melbourne Center on 120.7.
Sure can.
120.7 Dare 326. Melbourne Center, Dare Alpha Tree 26, 2,300 feet. Dare Alpha Tree 26, Melbourne Center, continue as planned. Altimeter 29.902. Melbourne Center, Dare 326, cancel flight following. Dare 326, Melbourne Center, cancellation received. Squawk 7000. Frequency change approved.
And we're getting closer. Really closer. And I think down here, my friends, I think we're passing over Devonport itself. I think. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe this is like Ulverston or Penguin. Yeah, I'm kind of maybe feeling like it is. There's the highway again. Yeah, I think Devonport's here. So, definitely not Devonport. Well, we don't have much altitude right about now. We're like 500 feet, 600. Now, here we go. There's Devonport Airport, 5 nautical miles away. We might as well do our flyby over Devonport first before we land. Here we go. Sprawling metropolis, that is Devonport. I noticed those two silos there, they're fairly reminiscent. Pity there's no ships in the port, but this is where Spirit of Tasmania leaves from. there we have it. It's Devonport.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Let's put the landing gear down. Let's do flaps. And let's see whether I can... if I can put it down without not really having much of an approach course to speak of. Now that we know which way the runway is going. Well, it's a bit windy. Let's hopefully get this bird down. Oh yeah, looks like looks like we may do it. Gee, I hope we can. Because it would really suck if we couldn't. And there we are. Reverse thrust. And we're on the ground. We've made it to Devonport. Let's get off the runway before somebody else lands on top of us. Off we go. And off the runway we go. We might as well park over here. And here we are, parked. And I think it's... pull the flaps up. And there we have it. We have landed, and we are at Devonport Airport. After our flight going via Sandfly, departing from Hobart, going over the eastern shore of Hobart, over via the city, past Sandfly Airport, up through central Tasmania, over Cradle Mountain, up to Stanley and the Nut, then down the north coast of Tasmania to Devonport. And here we are at Devonport. Engines off, flight complete, and job well done. And I sincerely hope that you guys enjoyed this flight as much as I did, even though we nearly crashed twice. Yeah. If you liked the video, I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like before you go. Of course, if you didn't like it, you can dislike it too. And if you're enjoying the content from the channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. But at the end of the day, once again, I thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.